I'm meteorologist John Weatherby.
The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Money Radio staff, management, or advertisers, and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities. Some interviews heard on this program may be sponsored by the participants. It's time for Health Futures with Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth. This is Arizona's only show dedicated to providing you with expert advice on how to live a longer, healthier, and happier life. To learn more, call 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Bob Roth.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Health Futures, and I'm your host, Bob Roth. And it is Friday, November 10th, 2017. And we have a lot to cover today. This is one of the shows that I'm proud to produce because it's near and dear to my heart, because we're talking about Alzheimer's. And Alzheimer's is the sixth leading cause of death. And in our state here in Arizona, it's the fourth leading cause of death. And if you look at the 10 leading causes of death, this is the only one that continues to grow, and all the others are making progress, and less people are dying from those illnesses. So we've got a lot to cover here today, and before we jump in, I want to just take a moment and pause and really salute our veterans. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, and these are the brave people that fight for freedom and fight for our country, and if I could, I would, and I think everyone here in our studio here today, as well, that are listening in, are incredibly grateful to our veterans who support us and our great nation. So tomorrow's Veterans Day, and also tomorrow is the Memory Walk, and it is the marquee event for the Alzheimer's Association. And if you live here in Arizona and you live in the Phoenix metropolitan area, I encourage you to go down to the Wesley Bowling Plaza. It's right there at the Capitol, and join us for the walk. Come about 7:30. The walk kicks off at 9. We'll have music. We'll have food. There'll be tons of vendors there. And last year they said they got close to 10,000 people walking, and I would imagine they're probably going to do something special for our veterans as well. So if you are available tomorrow, that would be November 11th, come on down to Wesley Bowling Plaza, support the Memory Walk by the Alzheimer's Association. Like I said, it's one of the marquee events. So let's kick off our show. Our show today is really geared to promote an incredible event that's coming up next Thursday, November 16th. It's from 1 to 3 o'clock, and it is at the Valley of the Sun JCC. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's located right on Scottsdale Road, just south of Sweetwater at 12701 North Scottsdale Road. Again, Thursday, November 16th from 1 to 3, we have a program that's called Fighting Back Against Alzheimer's. Groundbreaking research, clinical trials, and care insights. And I have here in the studio, as well as on the line, a couple of the guests that will be, or panelists and speakers that will be there at this event. First, right to my right is Dr. Bill Burke. He is the director of the Stead Family Memory Care Center, and he's with the Banner Alzheimer's Institute. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Thank you.
It's good to have you.
Thanks.
Also, I have on the line, I've got Beverly Sanborn. She's the gerontologist and vice president of program development with Belmont Village Senior Living. Welcome to the show, Beverly.
Thank you.
It's good to have you. And just to Dr. Burke's right, my left, is Dr. Jessica Langbaum. She's the principal scientist and associate director of the Alzheimer's Preventative Initiative. And she's been a guest on our show a couple times. She hasn't been on the show for almost a year. But welcome to the show, Jessica.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to have you. And then just to Jessica's right and to my left is Brian Dell'Ergo. He is the new executive director from Belmont Village here in Scottsdale. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thank you much. Good afternoon.
It's good to have you. So we've got this great event that's coming up, and it's next Thursday, Fighting Back Against Alzheimer's. I gave that statistic. 6 leading cause of death. We're talking about it costing our nation right now about $259 billion. They're talking about 2050 costing over $1 trillion a year. We have 5.5 million Americans that have this disease. They're talking about it being close to 16 million people by then. Banner is on the leading edge of trying to find a way to, as Dr. Ryman says, to make sure that the next generation, right? Jessica, how's it go?
Ending Alzheimer's disease before we lose another generation.
There you go. Thank you. And that has been our mission since the Banner Alzheimer's Institute started. So this is a great event. I would like to have Beverly talk a little bit about what Belmont Village is doing. And this is incredible what they're doing with the community settings that they have here in Scottsdale. It's assisted living and memory care, and they do have this great program called Circle of Friends. Beverly?
Yes, thank you. Yes, at Belmont Village, what we do is we translate research, such as the research from the Banner Alzheimer Institute, and we translate that research into programs. So we take the findings of research and then say, what would that look like if we had a program that would prevent or hopefully delay, it can't prevent, but it could possibly delay the symptoms. And the Circle of Friends is one of those programs, and that one is designed particularly for people who already have mild to moderate stages of dementia. So even if you have a little dab of Alzheimer's or a fairly large amount, moderate is a fairly large amount, you don't have to give up. You can be engaged in a program that exercises mind, body, spirit 7 days a week. It's a therapeutically oriented program. It has special goals for it. We monitor outcomes. We want to make sure that the program is achieving our specified standards. And it also is a program that is designed to help with the problem. The one problem that sets in when people have a dementing illness is a kind of neurological apathy. They can't get engaged in an activity, and when they can't get engaged in an activity, they tend to withdraw, and when they withdraw, the dementia gets worse. It spirals down and ever downward. So our program has been very successful in overcoming the apathy and keeping people actively engaged in purposeful activities at least 4 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well, I think that's amazing, and we know enough about Alzheimer's. Is we know we can't at this date cure this disease, but what we can do is delay the onset. And certainly some of the programming that Belmont Village is doing, and the programming I'm talking about, the activities and the engagement, and the things that I've learned from, the scientists over at Banner Alzheimer's Institute is that, they do put them on clinical trials as well as on other medications, and if they can take those medications and make sure that they eat and eat their meals and take those meds at the right time, as well as the social engagement, we can prolong what is the inevitable. And it sounds like you're doing an amazing job there at Belmont Village by doing the engagement part.
Yes, the engagement really is critical, and it has to be an engagement that's fun. It's not just therapeutic, and it doesn't just benefit your brain and your body. By the way, you have to do physical exercise as well as mental exercise. It's very important, and the social engagement is another very critical component.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's hard to believe we're coming to an end of our first segment here, and I do want to bounce back in our second segment and talk to you a little bit more, Beverly, about the whole brain fitness program that you have over there. I also want to talk to Bill and Jessica about Banner Alzheimer's Institute and some of the stuff that you guys are creating or the breakthroughs that you have. And, Banner is coming up on, is it their 11th year? It's 11 years. I remember we celebrated 10 just very recently, and it's hard to believe that 11 years have come and gone. And I want to hear about some of the stuff that Banner is doing and share that with our listening audience. Well, our engineer, James, has taken us out with a little Bruce Springsteen. It is Friday here, November 10th, and we're coming at you live from the Scottsdale Air Park. We've got Banner Alzheimer's Institute here in the studio, and we've also got Belmont Village. Come on right back. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Hi, I'm Gary Culp. I'm host of the nationally syndicated radio show Investor's Edge. We're not just handsome radio people. We manage investors' money for a living, specializing in fee-based discretionary money management. No big commissions, just a fee on the assets that's managed. We also provide a full range of personalized services, including retirement planning, insurance, fixed income, and educational needs, all to assist you in achieving your financial goals. Understanding not all individuals have the same needs, we will carefully evaluate your personal goals to determine a proper investment strategy. If your current approach to investing is not getting you where you would like to be, call us to make an appointment for a complimentary portfolio review. The number to call, 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. That's 888-422-5559. 5559.
An ethical athlete is honest,
dedicated,
compassionate, trustworthy. An ethical athlete is reliable.
An ethical athlete beats the odds,
Takes the high road.
rises to the challenge.
An ethical athlete does the right thing.
Nominate your high school student for Better Business Bureau's Ethical Athlete Scholarship at athlete.arizonabbb.org. Powered by Isagenix.
Do you know the benefits of using your IRA to invest in private equity deals? Over the past 10 years, private equity had almost doubled the return of the S&P 500. The superior returns and lower volatility make a great addition to any portfolio. PrivateDealGuide.com is now offering a free download of their private equity investment guide. Go to PrivateDealGuide.com today. All material should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions.
Make your Burlington store your coat headquarters and save big on great styles for the family. Plus sweaters, scarves, hats, gloves, and boots for way less. Burlington, style for everyone.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you. And if you're just tuning in, our special edition today is about Alzheimer's. For those that don't know it, it is National Family Caregiving Month, National Home Health and Hospice Month. It is the Alzheimer's Memory Walk coming up tomorrow. And we are promoting a huge event that is being held at the JCC, the Valley of the Sun JCC, on Thursday, November 16th, from 1 to 3 o'clock. And that is being put on by the Alzheimer's Association, Banner Alzheimer's Institute, and Belmont Village. And during the first segment, if you missed that, you can go up to our website at cypresshomecare.com, click on the media button. You'll find a radio show button. You can catch that first segment and about 175 others that we've been bringing to you for the last 4.5 years. During the first segment, we talked a little bit to Beverly Sanborn, who is the gerontologist and vice president of program development at Belmont Village, about what they are doing with those folks, those residents that live with them, to prolong the inevitable and keep them engaged through their activities. Circle of Friends is one of them. I have in the studio Dr. Bill Burke and Dr. Jessica Langbaum, and I want to bounce it over to Dr. Bill Burke. Bill, I would like to have you share with our listening audience about what you do over at Banner Alzheimer's Institute. And you and I were talking at the break. It's been 4 years, and how quickly 4 years has gone by.
Indeed. I moved here 4 years ago to become the director of the Memory Center. And what led me to move was the prevention research that Banner has really been the international leader in. So looking at people who are at genetic risk to develop the disease and designing clinical trials to help people hopefully avoid developing Alzheimer's disease over the course of the time that they be at risk. So we have several of these trials up and running now. We have an international trial in South America. We have 2 other trials that are up and running in the U.S. and around the world. So the goal really is, to go back to what was said in the first segment, ending Alzheimer's without losing another generation.
Absolutely. And, I've talked about it here on the show, and I know I have many listeners that are just coming in right now. I've had the pleasure of being on the board of directors for the Banner Alzheimer's Foundation, and that is the foundation that is the philanthropic arm for the Banner Alzheimer's Institute. And in the 8 years I've been on that board, we've raised nearly $60 million in philanthropic funds. And through that, Banner's received over $500 million in grant money. And it is incredible the awards that you guys get through the National Institute of Health, NIH, and through a lot of the clinical trials that you guys are doing with the big pharma. Exciting stuff. And you were talking just briefly about your international trial. For those that haven't seen the 60 Minutes episode that was aired back this spring, they did a great job of profiling this family that Banner is leading the way in doing this clinical trial that has basically, from what I understand, I'm going to give you the layman's terminology, the gene has mutated itself where this family of almost 5,000, I think it is, all will be plagued with early onset Alzheimer's, and you guys are able to do a lot of your clinical trial testing there, which is really, really exciting. And if you missed it, I encourage you to go to the web and look it up for 60 Minutes, and I believe it aired last April or May, and what an incredible program that was. So.
Yeah, and it's a unusual population. So it's a family of 5,000 people, and 20% of them have a single gene that if you have that gene, you develop the disease, and you develop it at an early age as well. So Jessica has been involved in that trial from its beginnings, and it's been a very successful effort, and it's completely enrolled at this point, and the study is going very well.
Incredible. And Jessica, you've been on my show before, and you've talked about not only some of the prevention stuff that you're doing, but you created and started this prevention registry, and it's called endallsnow.org, or that's at least how to get to it. And I remember when I first had you on the show, I think we had maybe 40,000 people that were registered as part of this registry, and I'm looking at it right now. We have 282,777 people registered there. I would love for you to share with our listening audience about what that does. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And what do you get if you do register on this registry?
We really set up this registry a few years ago as we were thinking about planning for this new era in Alzheimer's prevention research, and how wouldn't it be amazing if when we have one of these studies available taking place across locations around the United States or globally, if when we were ready to look for participants, we could send out an email and people could raise their hand and say, yes, I'm potentially interested. So we created this registry as a way to help match people to studies taking place in their community, whether it be an online survey, a study where they go in and just do some memory and thinking tests, or maybe even a clinical trial. You sign up on this website, endallsnow.org, with just some basic contact information, name, email address, etc. Everything is kept confidential and secure. We don't share information. We don't sell it, but we do communicate with you via email, again, with those study opportunities, but also credible news and information. So we send out a few different monthly e-newsletters that come to your your email box, and allow you to just receive great information from experts around the world about what's going on in science. So, and having a large number like that really makes a statement to the NIH and other funders to say, hey, we're rallying behind this cause, and we really want to help end Alzheimer's disease.
It's amazing, and 282,000 later, and I know this number's growing. And I will tell you, I registered, and I'm going to tell our listening audience, if you register, you're not going to get spammed. You're not going to be marketing. They don't sell this list. You can opt out at any time, but useful, good information is coming from this, and it's great that we've got so much participation. But we need more, and we could, making the appeal right now. And
let's get to 300,000.
Come on, I feel like I'm, the muscular dystrophy telethon, right? We can get there, okay? EndAllsNow.org. Please go out there and register. Beverly, we talked at the end of the first segment. We were talking about the whole brain fitness program that you have over there at Belmont Village. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that?
Yes. Well, many people think that if you just do brain games and play Sudoku and bridge and poker and this kind of a thing, that might be sufficient to keep your brain mentally active and do the kind of stimulation that might delay the onset of symptoms. But it really isn't enough. It's not wrong. It's just not enough. Whole brain fitness is a program that would really be very similar to a heart healthy lifestyle. It's a whole lifestyle, and there's a huge emphasis on exercise because the research is very strong that physical exercise, daily physical exercise, quite vigorous, is probably the single factor that will do more to delay symptoms of a dementing illness. And you incorporate the physical exercise with a very heavy dose of mental stimulation designed to stimulate varying parts of the brain. And you add to that a heart-healthy diet. The Mediterranean diet is probably an example of that. And then it's important that you engage in a purposeful life in a social context. You really need to be part of a social group. There's quite a bit of interesting research on that one element, that the belonging. I think because the group encourages you to do more, probably encourages you to exercise more, encourages you to get out, to stimulate your brain more, and to eat right. Groups have a very beneficial effect on people. So the whole brain fitness in a Belmont Village, this particular program, and it is really like one of our missions, is to keep all of our residents very actively engaged in a whole brain fitness program. They don't have to have an Alzheimer's disease or a dementia. It's really for anyone. But if you do have an Alzheimer's disease or another dementing illness, it's still important to be engaged in a whole brain fitness program. It can still give you quite a substantial benefit.
No, that is awesome. I mean, it's that engagement. It is proper nutrition. It is doing all of those things to help prevent the onset of Alzheimer's. Real quick before we do our halftime break, how many dementias are there? There's 70, 80? There's a ton of them.
At least, yeah.
And Alzheimer's represents about 60, 70%?
Right.
Okay, because I know that there are a lot of them out there. All right, well, it's halftime here at Health Futures Taking Stock in You. We're talking Alzheimer's. Stick around. We'll be right back.
As we reach the bottom of the hour, we pause for a look at the world's news. Then we're back with Money Talk. We're Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM.
Politico is reporting that the Republican Party Senate campaign operation has severed its fundraising deal with Alabama Republican Senate nominee Roy Moore. This after allegations that Moore initiated a sexual encounter with a 14-year-old girl when he was 32. Some Republicans may be calling on Moore to quit the race, but no matter what happens, says Alabama Secretary of State John Merrill, people will still be able to vote for him.
Judge Moore's name will continue to be on the ballot regardless of whether or not he disqualifies himself or if the Republican Party indicates to us that they do not wish to continue to confirm him as their nominee.
Comedian and filmmaker Louis C.K. says allegations of sexual misconduct against him are true. In a written statement, he apologized for the damage he says he inflicted on the 5 women who made the accusations. An arrest in the suspected MS-13 gang killing of a Long Island teenager, a criminal complaint says David Sosa Grovera among a group that killed 15-year-old Angel Soler with a machete last year. I'm Michael Toscano.
If you've fallen behind on your taxes, you know that the IRS is already coming for their money, and they'll get it too by garnishing your wages or maybe even taking your home or business. They call it enforced compliance, and you'd better watch out because the penalties and interest compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. You need to call the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Solving tax issues is all they do. One call to Optima starts the process to stop the demand letters and stop aggressive collection actions. They get to work immediately, fighting to protect your assets and helping you put your tax problems behind you. The IRS writes off millions every year, and Optima knows all the ins and outs of the IRS's tax assistance programs that could save you thousands. So what are you waiting for? Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289. 800-367-6289.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. The leader in business news is the station you can take with you wherever you go. Get the Money Radio app for your smartphone and stay connected.
Hi, I'm Johnny Dean.
And I'm Rick the Professor Plum.
Every day on Bucket Strategy Investing, we're talking about financial planning, investment decisions, and retirement strategies.
We focus on wealth education and the strategy designed for the needs you have today
and the goals you have for the future. Tune in to Bucket Strategy Investing.
And call in with questions.
Retirement strategies, taxes, Social Security, and more. That's what we're talking about on Bucket Strategy Investing.
Hi, my name is Bob Roth, and I'm your host of Health Futures Taking Stock in You. We're a weekly show found right here on Money Radio, 1510 a.m. on Fridays at 12 o'clock noon. The premise of our show is about how our aging adult population can live a healthier, happier life. And we're able to do that by bringing outstanding guests to our show. So tune in on Fridays, 12 o'clock noon, Health Futures.
Hi, this is Ken from Online Trading Academy Phoenix. For a fresh take on the news and your money, check out The Right Side of the Trade, noon Thursdays and Saturdays on Money Radio 1510 AM and 105.3 FM. To understand how the markets really work, come to a free Online Trading Academy half-day class. When you come out, you'll also get a tablet with access to additional online courses at no charge. For free tickets, call 8448-INCOME. That's 844-846-2663 now.
I'm going to share with you the secret of where entrepreneurs hang out. They're part of the community alliances. Go to alliances.com, ELIANCES.com. This is where entrepreneurs go, investors go. This is where celebrities go. This is where people build businesses. Go to alliances.com, ELIANCES.com. You wonder where Richard Branson's featured? Go to alliances.com and hear the interview. Alliances.com, ELIANCES.com.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
I'm Bruce Vail with Your Money Now. Hot Topic bondholders have sued the retailer's private equity owner, Sycamore Partners, over a subsidiary spinoff they say diminished their odds of being repaid. The bondholders are challenging the 2-year-old separation of Hot Topic's Torrid line of plus-size women's clothing from the rest of the business, claiming Torrid was the company's growth vehicle and Hot Topic got an absurdly low amount for the division, minimizing the cash available to pay creditors. The maker of Apple's new HomePod smart speaker, Taiwan's Inventec Appliances, today said it expects future voice assistant products to offer 3D sensing features, including facial recognition. Inventec's president didn't specify which products, but analysts said he was likely referring to the next generation of the HomePod, which will compete with smart speakers from Amazon and Google. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 32 points. That's Your Money Now.
Hi, you lost?
Yes!
Medicare is such a maze!
United Healthcare can help.
Is that why you're driving this bulldozer?
Hop in! Choosing a plan doesn't have to be complicated. United Healthcare has the people, tools, and plans to get you through it, including the only Medicare plans with the AARP name.
That was easy.
Need to find a Medicare plan? Get help now at uhcmedicare.com. AARP Medicare plans from United Healthcare. United Healthcare pays royalty fees to AARP. AARP is not an insurer.
Don't wait until Black Friday for a great deal on the floor you want. Get a deal now and get it done before the holidays at Lumber Liquidators. Get Wood Look waterproof floors up to 46% off. All water-resistant laminate is 10 to 29% off. Get all quick-click engineered hardwood on sale and all easy-to-install bamboo on sale. More from 59 cents plus special financing and professional installation. Get a deal now and get it done before the holidays at your local Lumber Liquidators and lumberliquidators.com.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress Home Care Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures, taking stock in you. We're in our second half here, third segment. If you're just tuning in, I've got a studio full of Alzheimer's experts. I've got a community here at Belmont Village that is caring for those that are afflicted with this disease and dementias. And we've been promoting a couple events that are coming up. First and foremost, if you are available tomorrow down at the Wesley Bolin Plaza, which is down at our state capitol, we have the Phoenix Alzheimer's Association Memory Walk. And last year we had about 10,000 people. We've got a band, we've got food, we've got exhibitors, and we got a lot of people that are very passionate about finding a cure before we lose another generation, to quote Dr. Eric Ryman. And we also have another event coming up on Thursday, and that is an event that is being held at the Valley of the Sun JCC. It's called Fighting Back Against Alzheimer's, Groundbreaking Research, Clinical Trials, and Care Insights. And our guests will be, and the speakers will be Dr. William Burke, who's here in the studio here with me, Dr. Ed Perrin, who's the medical director at Iora Primary Care. His wife, Dr. Allison Perrin, works with the Banner Alzheimer's Institute, as well as Beverly Sanborn, who is on the air, on the telephone right now from California. She's a gerontologist and vice president of program development for Belmont Village Senior Living. And our moderator will be Carlene Motto, and she's the chief marketing officer for Belmont Village Senior Living. And I want to introduce another person that's in the studio here with me, and her name is Charmaine Roberts, and she is a community relations liaison marketer, and she is as passionate as we all are about finding a cure for this disease. And we were talking with Beverly about the Circle of Friends, and she was an enrichment leader, very passionate about this. And I want to just have you, who had managed this program and see it run every day, talk a little bit to our listening audience about what that looks like.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to let everyone know that I was grateful and privileged to be trained under Beverly Sanborn to be an enrichment leader, which is the person that actually teaches the Circle of Friends program on a daily basis. As part of the whole brain, that was really exciting to me was that we approach it from not just only exercise and diet, but rather analytical thinking, math and problem solving, and that just right challenge for each person there, learning something new, working on their short-term memory, sequencing, and so we incorporated that into the whole day. And through Beverly's program, that it made it possible to have this experience and actually get a lot of results from that. One of my residents happens to be a patient of Dr. Perrin from Banner Alzheimer's Institute, and when she monitored his stability. He had been great for a year. She wanted to meet Beverly based on this program. So here we are today.
Fantastic. And you know what? I got a chance to learn about this program back in September. And I think the beautiful thing about this program is, you know, and as they diagrammed it and they showed us some videos and they talked us through this, is that these residents are engaged. You know, they go down to wherever it's being held, in the community center or wherever it is. They take their notebooks with them, and they know that they're going to something. May not know exactly where they're going, but they feel like they're being productive. And just to watch, I saw the videos of, you know, the flip charts and just the engagement, and you know, they could be talking about American history, they could be talking about sports, but it is participatory. It really is cool to see it. You know, I feel like it's, you know, they must feel like students, that they're going to college, and you know, they look forward to this each and every day, don't they?
They do.
Very cool. You know, I really, you know, think that it's breakthroughs like that that help to promote engagement, socialization, that help delay the onset of what ends up being the inevitable, which ends up being death with this disease. You know, we talked to Jessica back in the second segment. We talked a little bit about the End Alls Now registry that was created under your leadership. And you also have another program called Gene Match. And I really would like you to share with our listening audience, what does that mean? And how, if our listening audience is listening in right now, how can they participate in the Gene Match program?
Thank you so much. So Gene Match is a program of the registry. It allows people to take their participation one step further. It's open to adults who live in the United States who are between the ages of 55 and 75 years of age and who self-report not having a diagnosis of cognitive impairment like mild cognitive impairment or Alzheimer's disease. And it's really simple. You can go to our website, joingenematch.org. And right then and there, we have some great informational videos and content that walk you through the program. And you're sent a cheek swab kit in the mail that you swab. And it allows us, the results are kept confidential and secure. We don't look at the results. You don't know the results, but we use that information to better match you to research studies that are taking place in your community. A few of them are some groundbreaking trials called the Generation Program that are targeting people who are at risk based on their genetics for developing Alzheimer's disease. So Gene Match is a great new program. We have about 47,000 people who have joined. 47,000, wow. Who have joined. It started at the end of 2015. We're really excited. We hope to get to 50,000 people by the end of this year. And again, everything's kept confidential and secure, and it allows us to match you to research studies.
That's just phenomenal. It really is. I think that, you know, it's groundbreaking stuff like that that may help us find the ultimate cure. Fantastic. I'm going to pivot over to you, Bill, and you know, you working with the families that you deal with over at the Memory Care Center. You know, first of all, I want to give props to the Stead family. I've had the chance to be on the board with both Jerry and Mary Joy, and they are incredible leaders, not only with their dollars, but with their passion and really helping us create what we have here in Phoenix, and that is the Banner Alzheimer's Institute. And since you've come, you're leading that center, and you see a lot of things with families. And, you know, a lot of times at Cypress HomeCare, you know, the families are always talking about the individual that has this impairment, this disease. But oftentimes we're talking more about the family caregiver, because everyone seems to forget about that person. And I imagine you see that every day.
Yeah, you know, very grateful to the Steads for their support. Let me start there. The Memory Center is really distinctive in that we have physicians who specialize in memory care because we think the initial step is trying to get an accurate diagnosis. But the thing that I think really sets the Stead Family Memory Center apart is our family and community services. So we have social workers who work with patients and their families to try to adapt to the disease. We would like Alzheimer's disease to be considered like any other chronic illness, that there are better ways and less good ways to deal with the illness. And we really try to work with people through the course of the illness to find ways of best managing it.
You know, and I give kudos to those social workers and the people working with those families. And I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the new models of care that are being created through the Banner Alzheimer's Institute when we come back for the fourth segment. And I do want to get Beverly back on because I want to talk to her about, you know, for those that have already been diagnosed with cognitive impairment, what are their options that are being offered as part of the Belmont Village offering. It's hard to believe we're down 3 segments, guys. It is Friday, November 10th, and we're talking Alzheimer's here. We promoted the Memory Walk for tomorrow. We're promoting this big event at the JCC next Thursday from 1 to 3, and we're being taken out by Coldplay. Thank you, James. You're listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. I've got Dr. Bill Burke. I got Dr. Jessica Langbaum here in the studio. And I've got the folks from Belmont Village here. We will be right back.
Every morning at 8 a.m., get timely market updates, breaking news on market movers, and strong analysis on financial topics to help you plan, invest, insure, retire, and stay retired. Don't miss Mastering Money every morning at 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. Hear best-selling author and wealth manager Steve Jurich, along with his great lineup of financial experts, CPAs, and attorneys. Mastering Money now at 8, right here on Money Radio, AM 1510 and 105.3 FM. See you there.
An ethical athlete is honest, dedicated,
compassionate, trustworthy. An ethical athlete is reliable.
An ethical athlete beats the odds,
takes the high road,
rises to the challenge.
An ethical athlete does the right thing.
Nominate your high school student for Better Business Bureau's Ethical Athlete Scholarship at athlete.arizonabbb.org. Powered by Isogenics.
Did you know that every dollar you put in a piece of real estate makes you money 5 ways? Cash flow, money in your pocket each month. Equity capture, the thousands of dollars you create when you have the right team and buy the right property using the right map. Appreciation, real estate doubles in value about every 20 years. Equity buildup, renters pay down your mortgage each month. And finally, the tax advantage. We pay almost no taxes on our cash flow and capital gains. These are the 5 ways we make money in real estate, which is why real estate accounts for more millionaires in the world today than any other investment vehicle. You should have some real estate in your portfolio. To learn how, attend one of our free workshops. Call 866-971-8970 or go to luiphoenix.com and register for the next available workshop. That's 866-971-8970 or go to luiphoenix.com.
Amazon is hiring with flexible and predictable schedule options to enjoy while earning competitive pay. Apply today at amazon.com/PhoenixJobs. Equal opportunity employer.
Now back to Health Futures, taking stock in you. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call 602-264-8009. Now, here's your host, Cypress HomeCare Solutions, Bob Roth.
Welcome back. You're listening to Health Futures, Taking Stock in You. We're down to our final segment, and we are coming at you live from the Scottsdale Air Park. And we're talking Alzheimer's. I've got the scientists from Banner Alzheimer's Institute here. I got Dr. Bill Burke. I got Dr. Jessica Langbaum. And I've also got in the studio, I've got the new director, Brian Dell'Ergo, and I've also got Charmaine Roberts, and then I've got a VIP here on the phone with me. I've got Beverly Sanborn. She's the gerontologist and vice president of program development from Belmont Village. She also is the creator of the Circle of Friends that Charmaine was talking about in the third segment. And Beverly, I want to go over to you now, and I want to talk to you real quickly about, you know, for those that may already have mild cognitive impairment, what are their options within the Belmont Village community?
Well, first of all, I want to say that people are very frightened of this diagnosis. It's really very scary to them. And I think they're afraid that they will have to give up living, that life won't have any meaning. And that just isn't true. And so what we have are a whole variety of programs. We have the Circle of Friends, but we have the MBA program, Mind, Body, and Spirit program, and a host of other kinds of options that our residents can engage in to keep themselves, keep their mind active and alert and agile. And one of the things that we do every day is quite a vigorous program of exercise. But we also supplement that throughout the day with other kinds of programs like Dancercise. Dancercise is actually quite correlated with maintaining mental fitness, and because it uses different mental areas at the same time. You have to move your body and you have to use your memory simultaneously. And then there are programs that stimulate you to think, and not just to think, but to speak. It's very important to put an idea into words. And so we have debates. One of the things that we do are debates on current topics, and you're assigned to a particular position. It's especially challenging if you're assigned to a position that is not what you agree with, because it really stimulates you to think much harder than if you stay within your bias. We also have a whole series of community projects that we sometimes call crafts, or something that where you have to use has multiple steps, and you have to follow those steps. It's called sequencing steps, and we do that every day. And it's usually framed in the form of a community service project, because most people don't do crafts anymore. It's kind of too bad, because it's actually an excellent for your brain. And then there are other kinds of lifelong learning and learn something new. We've done some really interesting experiments with learning another language, because we have staff from many different countries, and they can help in teaching language, and that's been very, very fun. Also learning computers, working on some computer programs. We have computers available, a variety of things, and all of this can be done in the Circle of Friends. It's done every day within the same group and the same dedicated leader. But for other people in Belmont, all of those are also offered, but it's a menu. So you can select with a menu, and the activity director can guide you as to what would be the most valuable for you, especially if you've lost a little memory. They can guide you in which activities would be the ones that would stimulate a part of your brain that needs more stimulation, for example, than another one.
You know, I so appreciate you sharing that. And, you know, there's that old adage about it takes a village, and we really do have a village here. I mean, I feel so blessed that we have this community in Phoenix. Just yesterday was the Alzheimer's Consortium annual get-together. I don't know how many people attended, but I know that there were a ton of people there. We've got all the medical institutions here. Obviously, leading the way is Banner, but we have, Barrow, we have, Mayo, we have all of the hospitals and all the research, TGen. They're all part of this, and it's the greatest thing I love about this community that we live in, especially being led by Dr. Eric Ryman over at Banner Alzheimer's Institute, is that nobody's in a silo. Everybody's they're open. If one institution has got a breakthrough, share it, because we can certainly benefit from that sharing of information. And the same goes for the community setting, like at Belmont Village. I mean, taking pieces and parts of some of the successes and making our community better. And I think that is really the key to success. Successful aging, and those that have mild cognitive impairment or a form of dementia or Alzheimer's. We were talking earlier, Bill, we were talking about the family and community services. And, Banner Alzheimer's, it's amazing, for all the 10 years they've been in existence, almost 11, they've been putting out a monthly newsletter. It's called The Beacon. And The Beacon lists all the activities. And, we're sitting here talking about engagement, and they have a caregiver education program schedule. They have activities of social engagement. If you are interested in getting this, I would urge you to contact Banner Alzheimer's Institute. You can visit them at banneralz.org. You can click on the events calendar icon. You can contact Deidre Colvin at 602-839-6850. This is an incredible resource for those families that are dealing with this.
It's a wonderful resource. I think the other thing that people would find on the web page is that we have a series of courses that we recommend all of our patients and their families either attend in person, or we've recorded them and made them available on our website. So basic information about what is Alzheimer's disease, how do you manage it, planning ahead, looking forward in time. We also have a monthly webinar that we have recorded and put all of those up on our web page as well. So there's a incredible wealth of information. If people just have a particular question that they are curious about, I would recommend going to our webpage and looking.
So that's banneralz.org. We also gave a URL earlier for the registry, and that is endalznow. That's endalznow.org. We also talked about the Gene Match program, and that Gene Match program is found at
joingenematch.org.
joingenematch.org. And then we've got Belmont Village here, and they can be found at belmontvillage.com. We've got a great community right here in Scottsdale off of Frank Lloyd Wright. And you got a chance to meet the new executive director, and you got a chance to meet Charmaine Roberts. What a fabulous community that we have here. And as I said before, it really takes a village, and we have our village. We've got a couple events that I want to restate that are coming up. Tomorrow is the Memory Walk here in Phoenix. It's being sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association. We will all be there. The village will be there. So please come down to Wesley Boland Plaza. And then lastly, Fighting Back Against Alzheimer's, groundbreaking research, clinical trials, and care insights at the Valley of the Sun JCC, Thursday, November 16th from 1 to 3. Thank you, Dr. Burke. Thank you, Dr. Langbaum. Thank you, Belmont Village and Beverly Sanborn. Make it a great day. We'll be back next week.
There's no place like home. You've been listening to Bob Roth's Health Futures. If you have questions about your own or your loved one's future health care, call Cypress HomeCare Solutions at 602-264-8009. That's 602-264-8009. Or visit cypresshomecare.com. Be sure to join Health Futures with Bob Roth every Friday at noon, right here on Money Radio 1510 and 105.3 FM.
Hi, I'm Johnny Dean. And I'm Rick the Professor Plum. Every day on Bucket Strategy Investing, we're talking about financial planning, investment decisions, and retirement strategies. We focus on wealth education and the strategy designed for the needs you have today and the goals you have for the future. Tune in to Bucket Strategy Investing and call in with questions, retirement strategies, taxes, Social Security, and more. That's what we're talking about on Bucket Strategy Investing.
Money Radio 1510
and 105.3 FM.
KFN Mesa, Phoenix, with the market still settling. The Dow's down 28 points at 23,433. The S&P 500 down a point at 2583. The Nasdaq up 4 at 6754. Gold down $11 at $12.75 an ounce, and oil down 38 cents at $56 a barrel.
When people want to talk about money, this is the place they come to. And there's more on the way after this break for the latest news. And we begin now.